The next thing what we are going to do, we are going to loop through this entire 20 elements because we are trying to automate this. For this, we have to also factor in that every time we copy this data, it needs to be stored somewhere so that at the end we can create a CSV file with this. So for this, we are going to create arrays and just start pushing these values. So to create arrays in Python is very simple. We just do book underscore names is equal to. So you can keep this array name as anything. Generally, I just add s to whatever is the variable. So that's a convention which I follow. You can follow any convention what you like. Prices equal to this. Availability. I know grammatically it's not correct, but I just stick to my convention because ultimately AVAILDYS is equal to this. Array TIX is equal to this. Right. Okay. Landing page URLs equal to this. Now we have to write a loop which goes through each of the item. So for this, I need to tell Python that what are the number of loops what we are looking at. So we can just look any of the values out here. So what we see H3, we looked at this one, right? So we do length, so this gives 20. So tomorrow if the number of page, for the last page, if there are only 5 elements, we don't want it to be running till 20. So we say here lmth length equal to driver dot execute script return this. I so now for this page, the length is 20. Now this needs to be within the loop. For x in range 0, okay, lnth, and so now here is the loop. The idea of loop is that if you want to print something, for example, we just want to print the book name. And if we run this, so it will print the book names. But what you see here, the book names are all same. What we want here is that it should go to the next one. So wherever we see the 0 value, it should be ideally 1 there. We just need to change this to 1. So now I will just create some enter and space so that you are able to see it better. So this needs to change every time. So now when we do print x, and if we run this command, so if you see it starts with 0, 1, 2 and goes till 19. This is the value what we are going to use out here. So now because this is within double quotes, we break this with double quotes. We do double quotes and then plus, again plus and double quotes. Because this is a number, we need to convert in string. So now this is the value. So wherever there is 0, we need to put this. We have to change this to x because we want these numbers to change. So now we go here and instead of 0, we paste this control V. So now this will be control V. This will be control, V, this will be control, V. So now, why is this giving me error? Okay. So now if we try to print the book name, let's see what happens. It's of some error. We made some mistake. X. So X is 0. Let's try to investigate this one. So we go here. Okay. This one is also fine. So when we put here X, it will actually give us the value of X. So we are just trying to find out where is the issue. So now the issue is here. The reason being that we forgot to put the bracket out here. So now try to test this. Yes, now this is working. We test this. This one is also working. Now let's try to print the book name here. Fantastic. Now this is what we wanted. We wanted the different book names. So this is going to the entire web page, each of them. Now what we want to push these values, because now every time it goes into the next loop, this value resets the old one. So now this becomes the last one. So if you go here, it becomes the last one. What we want, these values to be pushed here. So the array, the advantage of array is that whenever we try to push, it can store many values. So what we do here, you don't need this. We go here and we start pushing here. So say book underscore names dot append book name, prices dot append price, AVAILIBILITYS append and rating and now test this if this is working. Now double click this book names and let's see. Okay, now this book name is storing all the values. Now let us look at prices. Okay, this is also storing. Let's also try to verify some of them. The second is 53.74, 53.74. The third is 50.10. So, okay, the values are all right. We also try to see the ratings. When we click here, it says 311, 311. The next should be 4. Yes, this is fine. Then we looked at the landing page URLs. Okay. So we saw this, take 1000 index HTML. 1000 index HTML. So we are able to see in the, so this is also correct. So now all our objectives are met. The next thing that we are going to do is that we have to click here and move to the next page and do this exercise again. Go here and do this. So for this, we have to write one more loop here. And also what we need to do, we have to click here. Again, the process is very simple. What we do here, we try to look at this one. So this is Li class. Okay. So now we go here. Get element by class name. Next, it was next. Okay. So now let us look at this one. Whenever it is Li class name next. Okay. Let us look at the length. Okay. The length is 1. What happens when we reach to the last page? So page 50. So now this is the last page. So for last page, the length becomes 0 because this is not there. We will need this also. Otherwise, the script will give us an error. So now we go to the home. Yeah. Now we go here again. So now so this is the way you crypt. It's not working. So children. Now we get to see this hyperlink. Now we are able to move to different pages. Do diver.execute script. So now what we are doing here is that we are clicking this every time. Now let's run the script again and see what is happening. Go to the home and run this script. So now this is going to the next pages. Do not move to the next page though. Reason being that because this is within this, so it only clicks 20 times. So this has to be outside this loop. So we go here, we put this. Now this also needs to be under this loop. So this time we are looking at the page. There are total 50 pages. The page could be dynamic. What we do here, we first write the page name number. Page number equal to 1. Now we are using a while loop which says while page number is less than equal to 50, you have to keep clipping this. So now this will be one more level and this will be like this. So now what this code is telling, and every time after you click this, you make the page number equal to page number plus 1. So now what we do here, we go here, we click this and see what is happening on this. Okay, it went to all the pages, but you will see an error out here. The reason being that it's still trying to click here, but there is no next item. If we do this, you will see a click. We don't want this because once you have the errors, the script stops working. So we have to click this button only if this button exists. And if you saw at that point of time, console, we do this dot length. This length is 0 here. If you go to the previous page, this length is 1. So we have to click this only when the length is 1. So we write a code here. If driver dot execute script return. So now if we look at this length, it should be able to return the length. So if this length is greater than 0, then do this. Then it will add. Now we do the same thing again. Go here, and from here we run it again. So now we see. Okay. So now it did not give me any error. The next thing what we are going to do, so now if we look at this book names, it should have 1,000 records. All the records are there. Now we just convert this to a CSV file. That is the reason I had imported this pandas as PD. The process with pandas is very simple. So now all these loops and everything is already ran. We start from here. We say data equal to, so we make a dictionary basically. The name of the column will be book name. The second was prices. The third will be availability. Just copy this. The next will be ratings. Ratings, it should be rating because these are the column names, so we have to be very careful about that. This is how the data will look like to the end user. Landing page. URLs. The last one will not have a comma. It will have comma only when you are having more records. So now if you do this, select this. So now this has already become a dictionary. Now we say, the next line we say df is equal to pd dot. So there is no major command. You just need to learn this bit data frame. So we are creating a data frame, pd.data frame. So now we go here, we look at this becomes a data frame. So this is exactly like a CSV file. Now we go here. So this is the working directory, Control C, and we go here, we say df dot to CSV. So we say the working directory plus, so this basically gives us the path. File book data.csv index is equal to none. The only difference between index is that you will have those zero values because that is the way these are uniquely allocated. So we don't want these 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. We just remove this. So we go here, we do this. So now we go back here on the desktop. We go here, we see this book data, and you should be able to see the entire data. So now if you want to match it, we go here, we select, we see actually 1001. So basically that means that the first name is the column name, and these are the column names what we were writing here in the codes. These are the column names. So that will be all. And if you need further assistance, you can reach out to me on comments. And if you also want me to make a tutorial on actually going to individual pages and capture more data, then I should be able to help you with that as well. And then that will be a pretty long video, but we can look at that. So when we go into that, we could also look at things like book name, price, availability. We can also look at this data point, one available, star rating, we already had it. We can also look at product description. We can look at these kind of information, tax availability, reviews, and this will be dynamic. So product, it will not make sense. Yeah, that's what it is. All right then, thank you.